I'd be willing to bet one of the biggest reasons you're not improving is not lack of speed, lack of creativity, but lack of strength and weak hands. What's up, my friends? Richie Martinez here. I'm a drummer based out of Nashville, Tennessee. I've taught hundreds of students, toured around the world with my band, recorded on albums. I've done some really cool things. And today I want to talk about a subject that I think is holding drummers back in their playing and their progress. I also want to offer some solutions and some things you can do even without a drum set to improve. But before we do that, check out the link down in the description. It's a free warm-up. I have so many warm-ups that I'm going to be giving away. For those of you that have already downloaded it, I appreciate you. And for those of you that haven't, there you go. It's free. Let's check out the video. A lot of drummers like to speed run drumming. Everyone wants to get to fancy patterns and they want to play quickly. So unfortunately what happens is drummers choose the path of least resistance. And in doing so, we skip significant fundamentals. For example, drummers that are eager to become faster, they skip wrist control and go straight to fingers. And obviously fingers are fast, they're super cool, they're flashy, but they lack power. And you have to think of yourself as your arm and all the components behind your arm as different gears. You have your fingers, your wrist, your arm. And unfortunately, a lot of drummers forget about the wrist and the forearm, and they'll go to speed in the fingers and then power from the arm, but they're missing out a significant amount of control. Reasons for developing the forearm and the wrist: strength, stamina, longevity, power, control. A lot comes from there, so please do not skip out on your wrist and your forearms. I could go on and drill into your head how the wrists and the forearms are important, but what can we do to improve? I want to give you some practice methods, some tips that you can use whether you're behind your drum set or not. I genuinely believe that drummers can improve in many ways without necessarily having to be behind the drums, and I think that's very useful for a lot of you. Maybe you're constantly on the go, or you live in an apartment and you feel frustrated because you feel like you're not getting the right amount of practice in. Dude, don't worry about that. Hopefully these tips offer something for you. So the first one, and this one is not my idea, but I learned it from one of my favorite drummers, Jojo Mayer. It's called the JoJo. I don't know. That's what I call it. Jojo talks about this, and I remember learning it from him years ago, not personally, but through a video that I watched, and it stuck with me forever, and it became part of my practice. It's something that I show to all my students. It's very simple. You give 4 or 8 claps, depending on your strength level. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that equals 1 rep. You want to do 100 reps. So you'd get to 98, 99, 100, 1, and you would finish on the downbeat of 101, essentially. Guys, I promise you, if you do this 2 times in a row back to back, your forearms are going to be on fire. So let me just demonstrate. You can totally do 8 as well. So let's do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3. Nice full claps. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we're not going to go all the way to 100. Yes, I can do 100. All right, I've done it. And the thing is, if you get exhausted, you get tired, Jojo always says, slow down, but don't stop. So dude, if you're at 90, 91, just slow down, finish the exercise. The Jojo is going to have you cooked, and it is beautiful. So do it every single day. You'll love it. And then after that, once you're warmed up, give yourself a little bit of a stretch. I don't personally believe in stretching cold muscles or cold sinews, you know, tendons, ligaments, things like that, but give yourself a little stretch after that. Back and forth. Nothing crazy, dude. We're not trying to pop anything. Just, you know, get the blood flowing, get some movement going. Try that out. It's an excellent exercise. Dude, I love this stuff. I could geek out about it forever. For those of you that are serious and want to push to the next level, I'm doing one-on-one private coaching. I'll leave information down below for contact. Reach out to me. It'd be a pleasure to meet you and help you improve. Now we're going to go into tip number 2, and I want to point some things out. We want to focus on full range of motion in our wrist. Unfortunately, a lot of drummers, and maybe this is you, they'll play French grip like they're playing timpani. And what happens is you limit your range of motion in the wrist, then you're dependent upon fingers, and to get power, drummers always go to the arm. They're having to compensate for that lack of range of motion because they don't have developed wrists and developed forearms. And instead, they could just turn their hand over and get a full natural range of motion. Obviously, I use French grip. for different things, right? Finger technique is great, but we're trying to focus on fundamentals and develop the wrist. So for tip number 2, I would like for you to start working on your range of motion. And there's a very simple exercise that I love doing where you put your hand on your lap, quite literally like this. Your hand dangles over the knee and you get up and down strokes. And what I want you to focus on is slow. We're not working on speed. Slow movements. Up, right? Fingers up to the ceiling, up to the sky, and down. And all the way down to the floor, and try to get this full range of motion. This is a great warm-up for you guys that are gigging all the time and touring and playing a lot of shows back to back. This is great for when you don't want to have sticks in your hands. Sometimes you guys have blisters. I get that. And the last thing you want to do is warm up with sticks. Bro, I've done this festival style. When you show up and you're playing a festival or whatever the case is, you don't even have sticks or a pad. Just do this. I mean, I'm already feeling it now as I'm speaking to you. Full range of motion. Feel free to open your hand. Feel free to pretend you're holding a stick. But truly, develop this range and this flow and see how your forearms start to burn, how they start to develop. Then you get the left hand involved. You can do unison to where they're both moving up and down. You can alternate, right? And really, really get this flowing, man. This is great. I look probably really stupid right now, but I like this exercise. And for number 3, it's very simple. We're just going to use weighted sticks, heavier sticks. These are my marching sticks. I have weighted metal sticks that are super heavy as well. And all you're going to do is singles around the kit or on your lap or on a pad, just like this. But here's something that I want you to focus on. Whenever you're doing those singles at a slow tempo, please focus on not releasing the back fingers. What's going to happen is if you release the back fingers, you're missing out on developing that grip strength. Please don't kill the stick. Don't choke it. But just move up, down, up, down. The back fingers do not come off. We are not developing fingers here. We are developing wrist and forearms. So simply do singles. No big deal. Singles, the back fingers don't come off. I'm nice and relaxed, but I'm getting a full range all the way up and all the way down. Here's a little detail that I've noticed watching students and watching a lot of drummers that haven't developed their shoulders, their mobility. Whenever they go over to the floor tom, instead of moving down the toms, or even moving across rather, let's say you're not using the racks, they tend to do this, and maybe this is you, but they flip the hand over to hit that tom. And instead of using that shoulder muscle and using their body mechanics, they essentially compensate for a lack of strength, a lack of mobility, a lack of control by flipping the hand over because it's easier. But instead of making things easier, like we said at the beginning, drummers love to find the path of least resistance. Why don't we work on the fundamentals that are going to help us develop more quickly? And then we'll realize that our speed is improved, that our control is improved. So many things about being a drummer will improve. Boom, there you go. 3 simple tips, maybe even 4, that are like too good to be true. Seriously, if you've watched this much already, just give it a try. Push your limits, use them, turn them into your own exercises, your own patterns. They've helped me, man, and I just want to share this information with you guys. So if you're willing to listen and you're willing to check things out, give them a go. I think you'll dig them. Once again, for those of you that are serious about getting better, I do private coaching. Reach out to me. Information is going to be down below. Check out my previous video about fingers because them fingies is important. And of course, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. I love chatting with you guys, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.